trade capture here. I'm commentating after the trade, not commentating during the trade, so this is just a commentary. I'm telling you what my thought process was at the time. So background, I'll be very quick with this, you can check yourselves. This was the 23rd, so it was the Monday, and it was in the last hour. We've just driven up hard, we've got high ticks, we've got high volume. Unfortunately, I've chopped off the volume down there, but go and have a look at your own chart. So green flags, volume, green flag, ticks, green flag that we've broken through prior support, and I do believe actually that we're at the day's high there on the YM, so all good stuff. So I'm now looking for a long, but I'm cautious because the first tick pullback, if I'm looking at it, didn't look great on the tape. You know, we had the, when I mean the first tag to zero is what I mean. The first pullback, the hit of zero. You know, that's when you'd be looking for your first buy. The tape just looked a little bit dodgy. Now you would have got away with it if you'd taken it. I think it was about 6 to 8 ticks heat on it, so no big deal. But I prefer now to wait, and what I'm going to use is a bit of a combination of, well, most of the time I'm leaning on the tape, but if you were timing this otherwise, you've got that little trend line break where you just draw the little downtrend mark. You've got 20 period moving average. I haven't got it on this chart, but I can see it on my other chart off screen, and I know that it's about to tag it around here. But because of the way the market is, because it's summer, etc., etc., I just want to see tape confirming the entry. So we've put a little wick in now, so we've got something to work off, and now I just want to see strength. Okay, so I'm watching the tape, I'm seeing the ticks, they're okay, they're not great, the fact that we have gone negative on them. It's not extreme this, but I still think it's valid because of the distance of the pullback, very shallow, it's taken a long time, volume's dipped off slightly as we've done it. You know, lots of green flags there for the trade. Okay, so watching now, tape speeding up. I'm seeing a lot more green coming through. I'm seeing the offers being hit. I load a 5 lot up, and I think if we can clear up that 73, I want to get long. So I'm sitting there waiting for that. Why I didn't, and there's the entry going in now. Click, take the 5 lot. So I'm long 74. Okay, this is live account, by the way. So really the idea of the trade is first pullback trade, and I just want to see that tape strength coming in. Okay, so now I'm going to manage it, and there's an emergency stop has gone in just off the screen, obviously for any unforeseen odd scenarios. But anyway, my stop is going to be very tight on this. Now normally I would have a stop under that last low, okay, after that little wick low, which is perfectly feasible. For me, the fact that I'm basing this a lot on the tape pushing up and holding, I don't really want it going below sort of, you know, 60. Where was the last low on that? Let me just double check on my other chart. 65, you know, 68, 66, that sort of thing really is I end up putting a stop in at 67 because it's based on that tape. If it goes lower, because of the market conditions at the moment, the fact that we seem to be doing this and continuations aren't quite as juicy as they are in other time periods, that's why I've got reduced size on this, and that's why I've got a little bit of a tighter stop, because I don't want to be sitting there and it just taking out that low and then coming back, you know, so that's why the stop's a little bit tighter. So I'm long at 74, and I've put in, I think there's a 1 lot there, might be 2, 83 as a first scanner. What I will do is, that's just a bit of a marker. I don't know why I put it 83. I put it 83 and not 4. Must be a reason for that, but I can't remember why I've done that. But anyway, that's the marker. What I will do is I will also take out another 2 lots as we get up there, based on the tape. I don't want to be so strict with it, but I want to make sure I've at least got some in the queue. And obviously when you're trading larger size, if you're trading at 20-30 lot, it makes more sense to get a 10 lot in front of the queue. If you're trading 5 lots as we are today, it's not a problem. You know, you're going to be able to get a fill without any issue. So I'm sitting here now, and I don't like this congestion that much at the 76, 74, but you know, it's okay. If it rocks back, then I want to be out of it. Basically, I'm happy for it to hold here, but if it rocks back, I want to be out of it. So I put another couple in there, 89 and 90. That's really the premise of the trade is that I'm looking for the first pulse tape to take off half the position, or in this case it has to be 3 lots, and then I'm looking to scale out the other 2 into the push high. So the tape's looking great now. We're starting to speed up, we're starting to break through that 77 to 80 level. I now just want to see it pulse through, and should get my fill on this. There we go, filled at 83, and I'm watching it now. I don't like the fact that it's stalling, so I end up taking another one off at 83. and we should really be absolutely cracking straight through, and I managed to get a fill there at 84. So I've got 3 off, now I've got 2 left, and I'm happy to hold these 2. I wanted to take those 3 off there because of the tape. Now if you replay it, you'll see the fact that we just hit there and we just stalled. We had guys reloading, we had reasonable size coming on the buy side, but there were just sellers sitting there soaking it up. Now, and I've cancelled those other 2 orders there because I think to myself, okay, well, we've got a situation now where if we go again, I want more than that. I don't just want to take the high. Those were there for the first pulse, so first one off 83, other 2 off at 89.90, but it didn't happen. I ended up managing it a little bit more and taking off, the other 2 at 83. So I've got 2 left, and I'm still looking for a push to highs. Now this is where you're gonna have to sit there and twiddle your thumbs, because for the next 6 minutes or so, the market oscillates back and forth, back and forth. Now, we're at the end of the day as well, so we've got 15 minutes towards the close, and it looks okay. I'm happy with it. The entry's okay. I would have preferred obviously to be buying on the wick, but the reason I didn't buy on that wick is, as I said before, the fact that continuations I prefer when it's this type of environment, especially when we're in the middle of the range on the 60, we're going back and forth, back and forth. I just want to wait for that confirmation. Okay, I want to wait and see. Now, if the tape had been extra aggressively buying down there, then I would have probably got a little bit of a better tick entry. But I didn't see any aggressive buying coming in till around 72, 73. And of course, by the time you're in, you're at 74. So, and then the stop, justification for the stop is obviously, if that's right, the tape's right, and we're holding at that level, then I'm expecting to push higher. Now, under better conditions, this would be blasting through the high. We'd be taking scaling off maybe in the 83s, as I had the marker there, the 89s and 90s, and we'd have a couple left to scale into maybe a good push, a good panic push. But we're running out of steam here now. Okay, we didn't really get what we wanted out of the trade. Well, so far we haven't really got what we wanted out of the trade. So, but as it's working for me in a way, we're up whatever that is, 7 ticks or so, 8 ticks. I'm going to manage this. I'm still looking for the break of the high, but if that tape tells me that we're running out of puff, I will cut it. I'll cut it, or most likely, just leave one on. It's only a one lot. I'll leave it on and see if we can get a high, and maybe stick a stop at break even plus a bit of commission. So I'm just watching now, and the last time we got stuck was the 83, 84. So what do I want to see? I want to see it break through that 84 level, hit the 87s, 89s, 88s, even if it holds a bit, and then probes, and then I'll scale into that probe. But we're getting a little bit stuck here, where it's okay. I'm watching now. I don't like the fact it keeps being denied. We keep seeing there's not much volume now. We have died right off, based compared to the push up that we had from this 12,640 earlier. So I'm still watching. For me, this 84 is a line in the sand. I want to see it break. I want to see what happens at the 85, 6, 7, 8s. Is it rejected immediately? Does it blast straight through? Is there a buyer lurking who's who's urgent and he's only got 10 minutes? That's a good green flag. The fact that we're in the last 10 minutes of the day, we're in fresh territory, we're holding near the highs. It's okay. Under normal circumstances, maybe I would, depending on where we were, and the time of day and the type of market, maybe I would look to be taking it all out here at 10 ticks. But here we go now. We're trying to push through. Got a little bit of a bid there at 85. The 6s are nibbled, but again, you see rejection. Every time it's rejected there, I start putting, I start leaning towards wanting to take the position off. Okay, that's just, obviously this is a slower market, so we're getting time. We're sitting here for minutes watching this, but under normal conditions, maybe one rejection, maybe two, that's actually a lot. But the fact that it's also holding after rejection is okay. So we've got a bit of green and a bit red there, but as it's working for me, there's no reason to take it out, and we're not in any large size, so we'll let it mature and see what happens. So again, watching the 84s, 83s, I just still think that it's got one more push in it, but if it doesn't, then I'll take it out. So I'm sitting here. The ticks, they're disappointing. They should be constantly higher than this and looking for one more explosion, but they're relatively low. We'll see what happens. So 86 is now, can they break the 86? Struggling before, we keep going down to one lot and someone keeps reloading it. Oh, we get a bid there for a second, We keep getting someone coming on, working a few orders. There's not that much buying though at the 86, so we haven't really tested him as such. This is the first test now. 87's going, 88's looking for the break, looking for the break. There's just no real buying commitment. I'm just unhappy with the level of commitment, and I don't like the fact the offers keep reloading. I think that if we had a bit more buying commitment, there is a seller there, but he would get flushed out. So I don't like it. So I put a sell off. I put an offer there for one lot, 87. Wait for that to get filled, and it just gets filled. So I've got one left now. I really don't like. I don't like the fact it's holding there, but I'm happy to hold just a one lot for the sake of the last 10 minutes. That for me is a big green flag, and we could easily push on another 20 and get a bit of panic going. Tape doesn't look great, but ultimately, you know, the position of the market, the setup of the trade overrules that. When you've got your risk off and you're just holding a fifth of the position, that's okay, you know. So now you see me in a second, I put a stop in at 75 or 76 because at the end of the day, I'm expecting it to be stopped, if I'm honest. That's why I put the stop in there. I don't like the position much anymore. But you know, I'm not going to let it come back and go all the way down to that wick. At the end of the day, if the and actually what I did there, you see me, I took it out at the 79 before we hit that 76. The reason I did that is just because I didn't like the position. I thought, okay, you know what, let's just ditch it. Okay, so I have to stop the recording there and restart it again now. I wanted to make sure that was saved before I carried on talking. But just to summarise, I ended up taking it out at the 79, which we saw. Didn't wait for the 76 to hold. When you got such obvious rejection like that and the tape's so clearly negative, you know, there's no point giving money away. So, you know, I'll just take it out at 79, cancel that 76, and actually went to 69. And which we're trying to sort of push back up, but it does look very, very weak. Will I take another trade? If we take out the high really, really aggressively, maybe, but we've only got 4 minutes left. I doubt it very much. I doubt it very much. So quick summary. The first pullback trade, we were at the end of the day. We pushed to new highs. We broke through that resistance at 12,650. Ticks were okay. Volume was okay. We pulled back. And I wanted to wait for that wick to come in first before I took the buy. Took the buy, scaled out into the first tape pulses. Didn't really perform as we liked. Would have liked to see that high break and take some out into that. Didn't get it, but I think it's a good example of, you know, trades don't always work as you like them to, and you've got to manage them based on what you're seeing in front of you. Would I have liked it to have just taken off into the sky? Of course I would, you know, being long, that's you know, what you want. It didn't do that, so we take off some of the risk. We then look for the second targets, which is that to break at the high. Didn't get it, so again we take off some more, and then finally, you know, that one was out at a break even plus a few ticks, the final batch. But other than that, you know, it's a nice little pattern. You've got that 20 period. I'll bring that up in a second as a sort of gauge. You know, in conjunction with the tape, if you like. You've also got to draw that. You can draw that down, little downtrend line on the flag that we showed earlier. So let me bring up the 20 period moving average actually, and just see how it tagged it, just to give you more weight to the trade. Almost let it get done. There's a 20 period. You can see it was tagged. And then you can see, you know, we took off after that, and my entry was a little bit later, but I just wanted to see that confirmation first. And now we're putting in some, you know, low tick readings here, and we're pushing to the downside. And this is probably all the guys who are looking for that blast through to the highs, didn't get it, a little bit late, not quite as nimble, who are now coming out and causing this little flurry down. Don't forget, even though, you know, there is the volume there, we are still summer, and it seems to get this blast of volume, then it just dries off. So it's something to be cautious of, especially with those continuation trades. So good little capture, I think. Not perfect. Trading never is, setups never are, but interesting to see nevertheless the tape in conjunction with the setup and how it all fits together.